Namaste. Hello.
Namaste.
Hi. Namaste. Good morning. You're muted at the moment, Mr. Rajagopalji. Hello.
Hello, namaste.
Yes, namaste. Hello. Good morning.
Namaste. Welcome to our seminar.
Thank you. Thank you.
And on behalf of our college, on behalf of our people of India, we welcome you.
Thank you.
And we are very, very happy to invite you on our seminar.
Thank you.
It will start by 10:30.
Right.
Welcome to our seminar.
Thank you.
And on behalf of our college, on behalf of
Is it okay? Is it okay? I'll check in again at 10:30. Now I'm having my brunch. Is it okay if I come back at 10:30? Hello? Sorry, you're on mute now. Hello? Hello?
Yes, okay, sir.
It's okay. I'll check in at 10.
Okay.
I will keep it on, but I'll come in at 10:30.
Sure, sir. We'll contact you. We'll get in touch with you by 10:30.
No problem. I will keep the connection. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
For coming online. Thank you.
And if you could, thank you. If you could give Nirmala and myself an idea, what time do you think?
And even Miss Jill also is coming online.
Yeah, she's there. We would just like to have an idea approximately what time we will be speaking.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Any idea? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you. Namaste.
Okay.
మనకు విన్న మనం పెట్టుకుంటాం కదా ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నా ఉన్నాయి నేను వింటా ఉంటాను అది ఏదో నేను ఇది పెట్టుకుంటాను దీంట్లో ఆన్ చేసిందా ఏది మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టు వాయిస్ ఏదో ఒకటి పెట్టేసి 10 అయింది ఇది తీసి మ్యూజిక్ పెట్టు
చెప్పిన సార్ చెప్పిన 10:30కి స్టార్ట్ అవుతాను చూసాను
ఇది రెండు పిన్లు ఇది అక్కడ రావాలేమో దీనికి పెట్టాలేమో అయిపోయిందా ఎవరు నాదే
ఇది మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టండి.
మనం మాట్లాడే వినిపిస్తుంది.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ రాజగోపాల్ అన్న. హలో హలో
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
వినిపిస్తున్నదినా?
వినిపిస్తాను.
ఓకే, బాగా వినిపిస్తుంది నాకు కూడా.
రన్ అవుతూ ఉండాలి. రన్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఇది తీసేసుకో, మీకు మీ దగ్గర పెట్టుకోండి.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మధు.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ అన్నా.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
నాకు కొంచెం లెక్చర్ ఉంది.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్, రాజగోపాల్ రెడ్డి సార్, మధుసూదన్ రెడ్డి సార్, కృష్ణారెడ్డి సార్, కడప నుంచి.
కృష్ణారెడ్డి గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. ఎలా ఉన్నావు?
బాగున్నాను సార్, మీరు బాగున్నారు సార్?
కడప చేరారా ఇప్పుడు?
అవును సార్, అవును సార్.
ఓకే రైట్. చూశాను మీరు జాయినింగ్ అప్పుడే చూశాను.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
మొన్న కూడా గమనించాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ కృష్ణారెడ్డి ఫర్ పార్టిసిపేషన్.
అయ్యో సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ సార్.
మాటలు వినిపిస్తాయి. మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ లో ఉంది. మీరు మాట్లాడితే వినిపిస్తుంది. మీరు మాట్లాడితే వినిపిస్తుంది. మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టలేదు అని మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టేసి.
బీసీ గారు అంతగా లైన్లోకి సార్ ఇప్పుడే మాట్లాడతాం. ఓకే.
రాజగోపాల్ అన్న,
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
నేను రిజిస్టర్ ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్తున్నాను. అక్కడ ఉంటాం, ఇద్దరం అక్కడ జాయిన్ అవుతాను.
ఓకే రైట్.
రిజిస్టర్ ఆఫీస్ లో నుంచి జాయిన్ అయ్యేసి అక్కడ ఒక ఫోటో కూడా తీసుకొని మీకు పంపిస్తాను.
ఓకే రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. వీసీ గారు అవుట్ ఆఫ్ స్టేషన్ అంట, జాయిన్ కమ్మన్నాను.
మేడం ఇప్పుడే పులిందలు పోయిందంట.
ఓకే, అక్కడ నుండి జాయిన్ కమ్మని చెప్పాను.
అవునా? ఓకే ఓకే
ఓకే రైట్.
మా కృష్ణ అంటే చాలా స్మార్ట్ కనిపిస్తాడే ఫోటో పెట్టి. సరేనా, నేను అక్కడ నుంచి జాయిన్ అవుతాను. పోతున్నా సార్.
ఓకే రైట్ రైట్.
మాట్లాడు. హలో, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్.
సార్ గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్, గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నా సార్, మీరు బాగున్నారు సార్?
బాగున్నా.
అదే రిజిస్టర్ గారికి అటాచ్ చేసాంలేండి సార్ ఇది.
ఓకే రైట్. వీసీ గారిని ఒక 2 నిమిషాలు అటెండ్ కమ్మనండి. జస్ట్ విషెస్ చెప్పు.
మేడం గారు ఇంకా రాలేదు సార్, వస్తే కనుక ఖచ్చితంగా చేస్తాం సార్.
పులివెందులకు వెళ్ళారంట మేడం, అక్కడ నుండి ఆన్లైన్ లోకి వచ్చారు.
చెప్తాం సార్.
ఓకే రైట్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
మ్యూటే కొట్టు.
Hello from Canada.
Good morning.
Good morning, good sir.
Is it David, sir?
Hello, good morning.
How is it? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. David, Professor David.
Yes, this is Dr. David.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Welcome to India. And we are very happy to receive you online. And it is very gracious.
Well, it was very gracious of you all to invite me.
Yeah,
to speak.
thank you coming online.
You are most welcome. See, I'll adjust my camera here, myself and my camera a little bit. And
అందరినీ మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను సార్ వాళ్ళని. మాట్లాడండి ఇప్పుడు మీద మీ మాటలు వినిపిస్తాయి.
again, hello, Jill. I'm David.
Yeah, very soon. We are just waiting for the Vice Chancellor to come online.
Yes,
It may take few seconds to start.
not a problem. I'm just going to get myself organized so that I'm looking at the same screen as the camera.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, not quite. Oh.
ఇప్పటికి 69.
అన్మ్యూట్ చేసేసి కనుక్కోవచ్చు.
శ్రీకాంత్ 71 అయినా సరే 71.
Adjust this camera a little bit.
Good morning, everyone. I wonder if I can suggest that somebody is screen sharing and it doesn't allow us to then see the other participants. Wonderful. Thank you.
ఎందుకు తీస్తున్నారు తీసి వేస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు. అది వేరే ప్రోగ్రామ్. We cannot do
Digital
anything.
biopic. Oh, digital biopic.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
DC గారు లైన్ లోకి వస్తున్నారు సార్, 1 minute అని చెప్పారు.
Hello, Miss Jill.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Who is in the portrait behind you?
Swami Shivananda and Swami Vishnu Devananda.
Oh, okay, very nice.
Yes.
What time is it now there?
I'm in Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu. Okay. I can tell you it's 10:45.
10:38 here. Yes.
That was extremely, yes, and for me it is 11:08 p.m.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yes.
my.
So here I'll just be.
It should get started and.
There, you see the darkness outside my window in my home office. Yes.
You are in Canada, right?
Yes, sir. Basically on the other side of the planet from you right now.
Correct.
వీడియో కనిపిస్తుంది, సెల్ ఫోన్ అంటే కనిపిస్తుంది.
Not like that. Sir, tomorrow I have to take class. No?
కనిపిస్తుంది, సెల్ ఫోన్ కనిపిస్తుంది. బ్రహ్మాండంగా కనిపిస్తుంది.
Say hello.
Good morning.
Hi sir, hello.
Good morning, madam.
Hello.
No, good morning, madam. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Still ఆగండి. Say hello.
Hi sir.
మేడంతో మాట్లాడినారా మీరు?
మాట్లాడినా సార్, లైన్ లోకి వస్తున్నారు. DC గారు 2 నిమిషాలు వస్తా ఉన్నారు సార్. DC గారు వస్తే స్టార్ట్ చేసేయచ్చు.
Hello, good morning. Good morning,
Good morning, madam. Good morning. Madam, good morning.
Good morning, Rajagopal Reddy garu. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
madam.
morning.
Good morning.
Sir, madam, line loki వచ్చారు.
So,
Good morning, madam. Good morning.
good morning.
Excuse me, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Good morning, Rajagopal Reddy garu.
Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
So start check.
Thank you, sir.
Madam,
Thank
line loki వచ్చారు.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning.
Excuse me, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Good morning, Rajagopal.
Madam, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Hello.
So it's time for
Good
us to
morning,
start
good
the
morning.
session.
Good morning, madam.
Okay,
Former
sir.
EC member.
I'd like to say something.
Essentially, madam.
Success
Good
is not
morning,
a destination, but a journey. Our journey is endless for achieving sustained quality in education. We believe success will always be with you if you love what you do. Before moving forward, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is B. Ashok, working as a lecturer in English in the prestigious institution CSSR&SRRM Degree and PG College, Kamalapuram, Kadapa. A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, guests, delegates, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great joy and immense exultation. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to the august body of dignitaries and delegates present online for the commemoration of 150th Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary. We cordially invite you all to the online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy. It's my privilege to give a brief profile of the chief patron of today's program, Professor M. Suryakalavati garu, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Yogavemana University, Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. She is endowed with PhD and the postdoctoral in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering from the United States of America. She has 2.5 decades of experience. As many as 23 scholars are awarded PhD under her able guidance in multi-disciplines. And presently, 3 scholars are working in various verticals under her supervision. Her Excellency has published more than 100 research papers in both international and national journals. In addition to this, she has authored 4 books too. She delivered invited lectures in different national and international institutes. She's specialized in power systems, high voltage engineering, and control system. It's fortunate for the Yogavemana University to have such a great personality as the Vice Chancellor. We are really blessed, madam. Under your Vice Chancellorship, we wish our university will certainly flourish with the different distinctions. Your Honor, madam, we cordially invite you to the online seminar on Gandhian philosophy by our college. I welcome you onto the digital platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So next, I would like to give a brief profile of our beloved principal and correspondent, Shri C.V. Rajagopal Reddy garu. He is an eminent personality and educationist who has passion for teaching and imparting quality education to the rural, poor, and destitute. He has established a group of institutions of multiple disciplines. I feel proud to say that our CSSR and SRRM Degree and PG College is the first higher education to get NAC accreditation with B++ in Rayalaseema region, particularly in the private unaided sector under his stewardship. He is generous enough to come forward in sponsoring the orphanages, old age homes, and funds for this type of programs like science congress, conferences, seminars, workshops, etc. He is always in the forefront in hosting sports and game tournaments for the welfare of the students at university, state, and national levels. He was a member of executive committee of Yogi Vemana University in the past. He encourages entrepreneurship, and one of his students has started a startup, and it is said to be the most progressive among the recent startups. We welcome you onto the digital platform, sir. Now it's my privilege to give a short profile of a patron of today's program, the Honorable Registrar, Yogi Vemana University, Professor D. Vijay Raghav Prasad Garu. He has a total of 20 years of experience, and he has guided 4 PhD scholars who have been awarded PhD, and presently guiding 1 scholar. He has administrative experience, which includes the BOS of Department of Microbiology, Controller of Examinations, Coordinator of UGC and RUSA cells. We cordially invite you onto this online seminar on Gandhian philosophy. Welcome, sir. Welcome you from the heart. Now, I'm very happy to present the profile of another patron of today's seminar, the Honorable Dean, College Development Council of Yogi Vemana University, Kadapa, Professor P. Chandramati Shankar Garu. She has 22 years of research and teaching experience, and she has been awarded the Monbosho Fellowship from Japanese government. She is guiding so many research scholars, and one of her scholars has recently been awarded PhD. We kindly invite you to the online national seminar, madam. Welcome to the online digital platform. It gives me a great and immense pleasure to welcome one of the patrons of today's seminar, and it's an honor for me to invite her. She is the controller of examination of Yogi Vemana University, Professor P. Padma Garu. She has understood very well the pitiable distressed students in the COVID pandemic, and she is the first controller of examinations to conduct the final year university examinations in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Thank you, madam, for your motherly affection towards the students. You have taken all the precautionary measures and seen that the COVID protocols are strictly adhered and followed in the campus. I warmly invite you, madam, onto this online seminar on Gandhian philosophy on behalf of our college. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for being online. Now it's my pleasure to invite with a profile of today's patron, the Honorable NSS Program Coordinator of Yogi Vemana University, Dr. A. Madhusudan Reddy Garu. He has 17 years of experience in the field of botany. He has undertaken 3 prestigious projects. He has received Young Scientist Award at 2nd International Seminar on Medicinal Plants and Herbal Products held in SV University in 2010. He has also received Dr. S. Yadav Award presented at the annual conference of Indian Association of Angiosperm Taxonomy, University of Calicut. In addition to this, he has also received the Best Teacher Award in 2011. Sir, we welcome you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of our college to this online national level seminar. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being online. It's my absolute pleasure to give a brief introduction of Professor S. Raghunath Reddy Garu. He is the Vice Principal and Chairman, Board of Studies, Department of Commerce, Yogi Vemana University. He has more than 20 years of research and teaching experience, and 2 of his research scholars got awarded PhD. And many more scholars are doing under his able guidance. He has published 40 research articles in national and international journals. He published 7 books, and his research outcomes are presented in the form of research papers in conferences and seminars too. He worked in different capacities, which include Director of Admissions, the Regional Coordinator of conducting MSET, AP, and APSL PRB twice. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being online. We welcome you to this online seminar on Gandhian philosophy. In addition to the above, we have special delegates from abroad too. I would like to welcome them from the bottom of my heart. So firstly, I would like to call upon for, with a brief introduction, I'd like you people to introduce Dr. David Cull from Canada. He's the current CTO and co-founder of AG Exchange Group Incorporation, and also the adjunct professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Saskatchewan, Canada. Welcome, Dr. David, sir, to this online seminar. And next from Canada as well, we have another eminent personality. She's none other than Miss Jill Stock. She's a writer and a yoga teacher from Toronto. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for being online. And the next one, the third one from the abroad, the eminent speaker, Mr. Natraj from Zimbabwe. He's currently working as the director of Shivananda Yoga Vedanta Dhanvantari Ashram. Thank you for being online, sir. Thank you for your active participation too. Now I'd like to introduce the speakers of today. It's my privilege to invite our beloved teacher and honorable speaker of today's program, Dr. N. Ankanna Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Yoga University. His prolific professor with 10 years of teaching experience. He has a scholar who is awarded PhD, and presently he is guiding 2 PhD scholars. He has published papers both in national and international journals, and also participated in national and international conferences. Sir, we welcome you to the online national seminar, and we are eagerly waiting for your speech. Thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome Dr. P.V. Krishna Reddy Garu, who is another honorable speaker of today's session. He's working as an assistant professor in botany, Government College for Men, Autonomous, Kadapa. He's the head of the Department of Botany, coordinator for MSc Botany, BSc Horticulture and Human Values, and Professional Ethics. He specialized in plant biotechnology. We welcome again one and all to this online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy. Thank you so much for being online and for your active participation. With this, now I request our beloved principal, Sir C.V. Rajgopal Reddy Garu, to deliver his presidential address. So over to you, sir. Thank you. Excuse me, sir.
Morning.
Sir Rajgopal Reddy Garu.
So,
it's over you too, sir, to deliver presidential address.
okay, thank you. It's pleasant morning. It's drizzling. It's auspicious to begin with. Good morning. Good morning to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Suryakalavati Garu, esteemed Registrar, Professor D. Vijayarao Prasad Garu, venerated Dean CDC, Professor P. Chandramati Shankar Garu, our respected Controller of Examination, Professor P. Padma Garu, respected Vice Principal, Professor S. Raghunath Reddy Garu, well-valued NSS Program Coordinator, Dr. A. Madhusudan Reddy Garu, honorable special delegates from abroad, Professor David from Canada, Ms. Jill Stock from Toronto, Canada, and the Director YVDA Zimbabwe, Mr. Natraj. Our honorable speakers, Dr. M. Ankanna Garu and Dr. P.V. Krishna Reddy Garu, and all the online dignitaries, delegates, participants from India and abroad, and ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy organized by our college. It gives me immense pleasure to share with you all a point that a few colleges come forward to organize this type of national online seminars with international exposure. We have been organizing various programs celebrating 150th birthday of Gandhiji for the past 2 years. In the past, our college organized a photo exhibition on Gandhiji's life. The photo exhibition on Gandhiji was inaugurated by the by the then Vice Chancellor, Professor A. Ramachandra Reddy garu. He appreciated and admired the exhibition. Students of all the schools and colleges, teachers and public in the vicinity visited the photo exhibition on Gandhiji's life. It has received a great appreciation from all the quarters of the society. For the past 1 week, as a part of closing event, 150th anniversary of Gandhi Jayanti, we have conducted the motivation lecture on Gandhian ethic and leadership. More than 500 participated and viewed the program, the motivation lecture, both on the Zoom and the YouTube. We have conducted the quiz on Gandhiji. About 300 students have participated in the quiz. In today's program, the online seminar on Gandhian philosophy, we have versatile speakers and delegates from various parts of India and abroad. We have Professor David from Canada, we have Ms. Dilshad from Toronto, and Mr. Nataraj from Zimbabwe to share their experiences with the philosophy of Gandhiji. Eminent speaker Dr. N. Ankanna and Dr. P.V. Krishnareddy from our university and degree college are present online. In fact, the whole of university is on the line to grace this occasion, right from our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Dean CDC, Controller of Examination, Vice Principal to NSS Program Coordinator. I am very thankful to you all. We have also delegates from premier universities of America and National Institute of Technology, India. The diverse participation in this online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy itself shows the influence of Gandhiji in the minds of new generation, the new millennial. I hope and wish our honorary advisor, Dr. C. Subbarayudu Garu, is present online. He is our inspiration and guide. The tireless efforts of the organizing committee and all the members of faculty are admirable, and they are doing their best in organizing this beautiful online seminar. I hope the seminar will receive big applaud and end in grand success. Let me conclude with a promise to organize more programs like this. I welcome you all to the online seminar that goes on the pillars of truth, non-violence, and self-reliance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable words. Now moving on, we all know that in our Indian tradition, no occasion will be successful without offering prayers to God. So let's now turn up for prayers to the Almighty. And following that, there will be a lamp lighting session, which is called Jyoti Prajwalana. Now I request the coordinators to begin the prayers. And following that, there will be a lamp lighting session, which is called Jyoti Prajwalana. Now I request the coordinators to begin the prayers. Which is called Jyoti Prajwalana. Now I request the coordinators to begin the prayers. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Surya Kalavati Garu, to give inaugural address. So over to you, madam.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. So, Registrar of the University, Vijay Raghav Prasad Garu, and Principal of CSSR and SRM Degree and PG College, Principal Rajagopal Reddy Garu, and Dean CDC Chandramati Shankar, Controller of Examination Padma, and Vice Principal of YVU College, Raghunath Reddy Garu, and NSS Coordinator Madhu Garu, and the resource persons from outside, David and Jill Stark and Natraj. So, and other eminent speakers, and all other participants, coordinators. Good morning once again. Good morning once again. So here, so at the outset, first I want to congratulate CSSR and SRRM Degree and PG College for conducting this national seminar on Gandhian philosophy. So where so already he completed 150 years of birth anniversary, where we are conducting in a big way, and that step is taken by these CSSR and SRRM colleges. It is a good thing. So where Mahatma Gandhi is a so the nation leader, and without him we are not here. So that is the thing. So with this thing, I congratulate once again the coordinators also. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your valuable words. Now, may I request you, madam, to release our souvenir of today's seminar.
Now I request
Now I'd like to request Registrar of Yoga University, Professor D. Vijay Raghav Prasad Garu, to inaugurate the digital biopic, an online exhibition of Gandhiji's life.
Please.
Sir, kindly inaugurate this exhibition, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Exhibition of Gandhiji's life. Sir, kindly inaugurate this exhibition, sir.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Webinar
అన్ని ఫోటోస్ సార్ కొంచెం పెట్టండి అది వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, may I bother you to deliver a few words on this auspicious occasion? Sir, Professor D. Vijayaraghav Prasad Reddy Garu, please,
Reddy.
sir, a few words on this occasion.
Small correction. Vijayaraghav Prasad. Hello. A very good morning to all of you.
I'd like to request Dr. D. Vijayaraghav Prasad Garu to speak a few words on this auspicious occasion.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to this online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy. A very fitting tribute to Gandhi Mahatma on his 150th birth anniversary. First, I would like to greet Vice Chancellor Madam and congratulate the hero of today's webinar organizing machine, none other than CSSR&SRRM Principal, Mr. Rajgopal Reddy. I guess you are not doctor. I don't know. Well, today and all the other participants who are very enthusiastically waiting for this moment. Today, Gandhi is remembered for his passionate adherence to the practice of non-violence and his supreme humanism in every corner of the world. He said, many ancient Indian masters have preached ahimsa, non-violence, as a philosophy. That is philosophical understanding of Gandhi. So Gandhi Jayanti celebrated on the auspicious day as International Day for Non-Violence to pay respect and acceptance to the true spirit of non-violence promoted by Gandhi throughout his life. Gandhism starts with the famous line, simple living and high thinking, and also practice. I would add here, although it is saying only as high thinking, he is a person who has put everything to practice. He just never limited himself to words. He just put everything to practice and showed us what practice can bring to. This is also suggestive of the fact that thoughts of an individual have great role in shaping a person's life. This is why Gandhism appears to be simple to everyone, but in real sense, practicing it day-to-day life is difficult. But he is one person, as I said, he made it possible and he showed it can be done. For instance, remaining truthful, we all know how difficult it is, but he showed it. Tolerance, non-violence, and respecting others in difficult circumstances of life require a great degree of personal integrity, right? Saying is simple, following is very difficult, but Gandhi followed what he said throughout his life. The character enlightens the Gandhi's philosophy. And this is something we have to embrace Gandhi today. Today's world needs to embrace Gandhism. As a person also, we need to embrace Gandhi. But then only perhaps we'll love him and we'll love his philosophy. Truth is a core value of Gandhi philosophy. Has been a special importance by Gandhi as he himself tried to remain truthful throughout his life. The autobiography of his great saint, we call him saint, that is a fitting tribute. My Experiment with Truth, I think this is one of the most widely read book throughout the world. There is no doubt about saying this. Testimonies, the love of Gandhi for truth. Gandhian view of truth was irreversible in different contexts, irrespective of the urgency of the situation and no matter whom he was facing. Gandhiji and Gandhism are always more than what we know. Gandhism, political contribution offered as independence, but that is the very least he could have done, because his ideologies have enlightened India for ages to come. The world even today, after so many years, will fondly remembers Gandhi. He's not a national hero, he's a globally recognized. We all know that. There are a number of countries where his statue is nothing, Gandhism is being practiced. So Nobel Prize winner Rabindranath Tagore in those days rightly called Gandhi as Mahatma, the father of nation. So therefore I very passionately urge everybody, every Indian or perhaps all the people residing on the globe, to embrace the Gandhian ideologies in their day-to-day life and lead a contented and happy life. Thank you very much, and also congratulate everybody for participating in this wonderful seminar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your invaluable speech. Now I'd like to invite Professor P. Chandramati Shankar Garu, Dean CDC, to speak a few words. So to you, madam.
Right.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Surya Kalavati Garu, respected Registrar, Professor Vijay Raghava Prasad Garu, Principal Shri C.V. Rajgopal Reddy Garu, CSSR and SRRM Degree College, Kamalapuram, Chairman of Technical Session, Professor S. Raghunath Reddy, all the guests of honor, dignitaries from India and abroad, keynote speakers, participants, press and electronic media, a very good morning. Gandhian philosophy is the religious and social ideas adopted and developed by him during his period in South Africa from 1893 to 1914 and later, of course, in India. Gandhiji considered non-violence to be a philosophy, a principle, and an experience based on which it is possible to build a better society. The teaching and virtues of Gandhiji have set the tone of values we share today. Famous quotes by him on forgiveness and non-violence, like "an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind," still continues to hold a strong meaning. He believed that the politics is one of the media to open the door of service to public and not for exploiting the power for one's selfish purpose. Gandhiji was considered as a combination of prophet and a politician by many political theorists as well as activists all over the world. Gandhiji is all the more relevant today when the problems in the society have assumed larger dimensions. It is essential we bring back Gandhigiri in each of our lives. We have to relook and search for our inherent humanity, which has got buried deep down somewhere within all of us. The desire to see quick results and lack of patience due to the time constraints of fast-paced life have some of the hurdles we face in evaluating these principles, which is very relevant today and needs to be practiced for the development of society and nation on whole. With this, I end my message. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Tata.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your words on this beautiful occasion. You have enriched the session, madam. Now I'd like to call upon for the controller of examinations, Yoga University, Professor P. Padma Garu, to speak a few words. Hope you're online, madam. Madam, are you available, madam?
Padma madam not available also.
Okay. No request.
Right.
Moving on, I would like to request Dr. A. Madhusudan Reddy Garu, NSS Program Coordinator from Yogamaya University, to deliver his address.
Thank you, Ashok. Good morning to all. I am very much thankful to the CSSR and SRRM Degree College, PG College Principal Sri CV Rajagopal Reddy Garu, who is organizing with the NSS unit. And I am very happy part of this national seminar on Gandhian philosophy on the occasion of Mahatma Gandhi 151 birth anniversary. This year we are going to celebrate. This is, I think, in the district first college and first NSS unit organizing Gandhian philosophy. I am very much thankful and I congratulate both institute and NSS unit. And with this occasion, I respected. I am going to. I wish respected Surya Kalavati Madam Garu and Registrar Vijaya Prasad Garu and CDC Dean Professor Chandramati Shankar Madam Garu and Padma Garu and other participants and other speakers. I am good morning to all and welcome to this Gandhian philosophy. So Gandhian philosophy, we're going to speak on, we are not that much big persons, but we are going to speak on a few words on this national seminar, Gandhian philosophy. So Gandhism is a world leader. Gandhi, as you know, worldwide, everybody, every corner of the country, Gandhi, he knows very well, is truth and non-violence. That is his motto, and with this thing, he is going to be famous world leader, becoming world leader. So Gandhism is a body of ideas that describes the inspiration, vision, and the life works Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. It is particularly associated with his contributions to the idea of non-violent resistance, sometimes also called civil resistance. The two pillars of Gandhism are truth and non-violence. Gandhi is famous as the leader of the movement for Indian independence, which he based on his philosophy, non-violence, an important influence on Martin Luther King. Gandhi's ideas and the effect of his leadership continue to influence the world and its leaders. Mahatma Gandhi summed up his philosophy of life with the words, "My life is my message." His multifarious and dynamic personality was based on the truth and nothing but the truth. Non-violence was another intrinsic element of his philosophy. In the present scenario, Gandhi philosophy should be adaptable to every human in the world. Socialism is another basic philosophical of Gandhism. Gandhian view of socialism is not radical in its approach, but it aspires for the classless society with no poverty, no hunger, no unemployment, and education and health for all. These Gandhian ideology have become the lighthouse for Indian policy makers over the years. The world is reeling under the burden of global warming, climate change, and resource crunch. The world, including United Nations, has recognized Gandhian idea of sustainable development and publicizing the Gandhian ideas to control global warming through sustainable development. So in this way, Gandhi has said one proverb on environmental issues. So earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man greed. So this is a wonderful quote to the sustainable development and also environmental issues. on the ethical and behavioral part of Gandhism has much significance today because society is witnessing the degradation of values. Gandhian virtues of self-control is much needed in a materialistic world driven by the desire to achieve peaceful society. The only solution to injustice and extremism today is to revisit and practice Gandhian values such as truth and non-violence and secularism. Then we can construct a peaceful society. So Gandhi thoughts work is worship. If you do not work, you are not eligible to eat. So with this message, I'm going to conclude my message. And I'm very much thankful to the management and NSS unit of the CSSR&SRRM college, degree college, especially CV Rajagopal Reddy Principal Garu. I'm very much thankful to you giving this wonderful opportunity on the occasion of your seminar and on the occasion of 150 years birth anniversary of the Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. No?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your inspirational words. Now I'd like to call upon for our IQAC coordinator, Mr. T. Ganesh Kumar, to give a brief vote of thanks on this session. For this inaugural session, there is a small vote of thanks which will be delivered by our coordinator, T. Ganesh Kumar Garu. Followed by, there will be a technical session too. Sir, it's up to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank all the distinguished dignitaries who have spent their invaluable time on this beautiful online seminar on Gandhian philosophy. We cordially thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Surya Kalavati Garu for attending this session, even being busy and providing her valuable words on this occasion. Thank you, Madam. Once again, thank you. I would like to extend my thanks to the Registrar of the Yogamna University, Dr. Vijay Raghav Prasad Garu, and the Dean, College Development Council, Professor P. Chandramati Shankar Garu, and the Controller of Examinations, Professor P. Padma Garu. Okay, and Dr. Madhusudan Reddy, NSS Program Coordinator, for being online and attending and make this beautiful seminar online success. Thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And now the plenary session is followed. It is chaired by the Professor S. Raghunath Reddy Garu, Vice Principal, Yogamna University. Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Raghunath Reddy Garu. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir. Raghunath Reddy, sir.
Good morning, Andy. Is it audible?
Morning.
Morning. Good morning, everybody. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Surya Kalavati Garu, respected Registrar, Professor D. Vijay Prasad Garu, guest of honors, Chandramati Shankar, Professor Padma, Dr. Madhusudan Reddy, and key speakers, David Carley, Jim Stock, Mr. Natras, Ankana Garu, P.V. Krishna Garu. Correspondent of this college, CSSR&SRRM college, CV Rajagopal Reddy Garu, Principal Dr. Subbraya Garu, and other dignitaries, resource persons, participants. Once again, good morning, everybody. I take this privilege to stand before you to talk about few words about the Gandhian philosophy. Mahatma Gandhi is revered as one of the history's most transformative and inspirational figures all over the world. Throughout his life in South Africa and India, Gandhi was a fearless campaigner for the rights and dignity of the people, of all people, whose constant and unwavering promotion of non-violence as a tool to win over the hearts and minds of the people of the world. Gandhi's philosophy is more relevant today when the problems in the world have assumed larger dimensions. When come to the philosophy of Gandhiji, it is a double-edged weapon. Its objective is to transform the individual and society simultaneously in according to with the principles of truth and non-violence. Gandhiji developed these ideologies from various inspirational sources, namely Bhagavad Gita, Jainism, Buddhism, Bible, Tolstoy, John Ruxin, and from various people. So actually, when come to the Tolstoy's book, The Kingdom of God is Within You, had deeply influenced Mahatma Gandhi. So when come to the ahimsa, non-violence is a major source for winning the confidence of the people by the Mahatma Gandhi. According to Gandhiji, evil can be conquered not by being evil, but by being good. Hate and violence can be defeated only through love and non-violence. Non-violence is the bond to triumph because it corresponds to the invaluable moral laws of the universe. Non-violence, truth, and love are identical. He says the only certain means of knowledge, God are non-violence, ahimsa, and love. So, when come to the reality, the Gandhiji techniques of mobilizing people have been successfully employed by many oppressed societies around the world under the leadership of people like Martin Luther King in the United States, Nelson Mandela in South Africa, and Aung San Suu Kyi in Myanmar, which is an eloquent testimony to the continuing relevance of Mahatma Gandhi. So according to Dalai Lama, we have a big war going on today between world peace and world war, between the force of mind and the force of materialism, between democracy and totalitarianism. It's precisely to fight these big wars that the Gandhian philosophy need in contemporary times. So, according to Barack Obama, in my life, I have always looked to Mahatma Gandhi as an inspiration because he embodies the king of transformational change that can be made when ordinary people come together to do extraordinary things. So these are the words felt by Barack Obama. So Mahatma Gandhi's principles have inspired many of the people in this world. And finally, it can be said that so he is living very simple, and his simple life of Mahatma Gandhi advocates principle, each of which is heavy with profound wisdom. They may appear trivial and unpractical, but our deviations from these basic values have been the root cause for many of our maladies. In this, it is essential to bring back Gandhian in each of our lives. It will only require us to look out to really and search for that basic inherent human goodness which had got buried deep down somewhere within all of us. The desire to seek quick results and lack of patience due to time constraints of a fast-paced life may be hurdles in evaluating these principles. But the sustainable solution that they offer in enriching and satisfying. Similarly, even at the policy level, a relook at basic Gandhian philosophy may reorient our efforts to bring inclusive growth and happiness to the faces of millions of the people. So with these words, so I conclude now. I invite the key speakers of this session. So Dr. David Kalali, CT1 co-founder, Age Exchange Group Incorporation. So adjunct professor in the Department of Computer Science, University of Saskatchewan, Canada. So we welcome you, sir, for this seminar and deliver the speech on this Gandhian philosophy.
Oh, thank you very much. I am
Thank you,
honored to
sir.
begin.
Thank you so much for those valuable words. Now the technical session begins with the keynote speakers, Dr. David Khalil. But before that, I'd like to request Mr. E. Srikanth, CEO Omegan Services, Bengaluru, to come online and introduce our valuable speaker of the day, Dr. David. So it's over you too, sir.
Hi everyone, good morning. Very good morning to the people who attended here
So
from
Mr. Srikanth
different
garu,
parts
are
of
you
the
online?
country. Yeah, I'm all right. Sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
Let's proceed, Srikanth.
Yeah, very good morning to everyone, sir. And my special thanks to the people who attended from different parts of the world. And I would like to congratulate. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to congratulate C.V. Rajgopal Reddy, sir, who is very keen to convert his institution over the digital in this pandemic situation. So very congratulations to you, sir. It's a wonderful job that whole college has moved to digital during this pandemic session, and a lot of students congratulating you over the charts, and I can see that. Thank you very much. And secondly, I would like to thanks to David, who is my mentor and who is also responsible for the success of Omega On, and he is here to talk about his life experiences, how he got inspired from Gandhi and the philosophy that he embedded in his own companies. And most importantly, I would like to congratulate the students who attended this digital event. I'm really surprised to see a lot of students here who are from remote village. Kamalapuram is a remote village, and it is now grown to be a town and constituency and everything. But the students, the encouragement that students got from the college, and today they are attending this kind of an online sessions over the mobile. Everyone who are listening to me, I would like to say my personal thanks to all of you. It's a good job. As a start, it's a good job. And to talk about today's mission, I'm like a very small person to discuss anything about Mahatma Gandhi and his life. But there are few things I got inspired from him. One of the things is everybody knows about non-violence, truth, and other things which Mahatma Gandhi has been a symbol all his life. But one thing that has actually been a North Star, which is his simplicity. If someone sees Mahatma Gandhi or someone hears about Mahatma Gandhi, then you will be seeing practically he is just one person who has led a movement for 900 million citizens. Just one person. It is goosebumps to think how can a person, just one person, can lead a movement for 900 million people, and everyone is just accepting that movement. Really wonderful person, wonderful personality. So if you see that in the technology, the companies which has included his philosophies like simplicity are grown to be the multi-trillion dollar companies. For example, Apple, Google, and all these CEOs publicly, they have spoken about Mahatma Gandhi and how they are actually inspired by his philosophies and the mantra of simplicity. So these are one of the great things, and it takes only a few minutes to talk about it. But if you see the lifestyle of all these big CEOs and technology companies, these particular points has played a very important role in shaping their company. And I'm one of the indirect benefit person. I'm grateful that I'm an Indian citizen, and I was able to see his face across all our currency notes and listen about his life, all my life. I mean, we were never being forced to know about him, but we will be hearing a lot about him every single day. And one of the things that is amazing is if you see the world's richest person, Jeff Bezos, when he visited India, the first thing he did is to visit Gandhi Ashram. And the world's most powerful person, Mr. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, when he visited India, the first thing he did is to visit Gandhi Ashram. So if you see, despite it's been 150 years, despite of the fact that it's been more than 150 years, like more than a century, yet all these big personalities are still, looking up to Mahatma Gandhi. I'm so happy that one of our Indian citizens is widely accepted across the borders. And I'm very thankful to see a few other foreign people here, Miss Stock, and of course, David sir and other people who are here. And Miss Stock, I'm very inspired by the, for you allowing the Indian culture to inspire you, and considering the fact that you are in Tamil Nadu and having a lot of spiritual experiences. I'm very inspired by that. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for being online here. And most importantly, I would like to thank the English professor who is
Now I'd like to request Dr. David Khalil to speak a few words on this beautiful occasion.
Thank you, Shri, for that wonderful introduction. I'm honored to be given the opportunity to speak to all of you here today and to share with you my personal perspective on some of the ways that Mahatma Gandhi touched me. I cannot and will not claim to be a deep student of Gandhi's teachings. I can only claim that I've been inspired by what I understand about his life and teachings. In particular, I have been inspired and influenced throughout my life and my professional career by his example of constantly seeking for truth, particularly through the paths of nonviolence and service. For myself, I experienced a great deal of physical violence in my youth. I had a lot of trouble in school, and learning how to cope with it and understanding why it was happening was very difficult for me. Eventually, I did manage to learn the explanations that worked for me, which helped me along a path toward healing. But at that time in my life, it left me with lasting effects, and the greatest manifestation of that was how I spoke to others. It took me a very long time to understand that violence is not just physical. I could also express violence in other ways, either directly through my words or indirectly by my actions. And I have spent my entire adult life striving with Gandhiji as one of my premier examples to learn how to adopt that nonviolent position towards others, especially when I'm blessed with the opportunity to teach or mentor someone else. Probably the most challenging aspect for me was with respect to expressing what I consider to be the truth. There we go, little scare quotes here. When I was a young man, I was very vocal in my expression of what I perceived to be the truth. I spoke without regard for others, and my speech was often quite disrespectful of alternative positions. Without realizing it, I was straying very far from my personal goal of practicing that life of nonviolence. Thankfully, I believe at least that over time I've started to learn the importance of communication with those around me. Communication that I now try to ensure is courteous at all times and respectful of others' points of view. And sometimes this is very challenging for me, for I'm a man of strong beliefs. But I have, I hope, finally gotten to the stage where I can reflect upon and question the truth of my beliefs without fear. I can only hope that in the time left to me, I'll be able to continue to strive towards that wisdom that was expressed so well by Mahatma Gandhi. Now, lest you all wonder just, how this guy from the other side of the planet, and it truly is the other side of the planet. I mean, just check out a globe if you're curious as to where I'm calling you from today. I'd like to share something about Mahatma Gandhi right here from my home city of Saskatoon. We have a very strong and thriving community, Indian community in our province or in our city. And in the year 2000, the local community donated a statue of Gandhiji to the people of Saskatoon with the kind assistance of the government of India. There's a single street that is only 5 blocks long, and it's a place of great significance to our city. It is the core of our downtown, the heart of our city. And the statue of Mahatma Gandhi was placed there along that path, not off in some corner. And every day, thousands of people go by that statue, have the opportunity to see him, to be inspired by him, to pause and reflect upon his teachings. And his influence remains alive and strong, even right across on the opposite side of the planet from where he spent most of his life to today. Okay? On behalf of the people of my city, my fellow citizens of Canada, my thanks to Mahatma Gandhi for his inspiration. My thanks to the people of India for being so kind and generous and such wonderful friends to Canada. And my thanks for your most generous invitation to participate in this event today. Thank you so much, and may Gandhi continue to inspire us all forever and ever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, Dr. David, for your valuable words. Even though it's late night for you there, we have though it's late night for you there in Canada, thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much for your patience. And I'm sure that your words will have certain impact in their own way on the minds of young generation. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome. I'm so honored to have been invited.
And now I'd like to call up. Now I'd like to call upon Miss Jill Stock, writer, yoga teacher from Toronto, to speak a few words and share her experience with the Gandhian philosophy. So over to you, madam.
Good morning, everyone. Om Namah Shivaya. I'm from Toronto, Canada, but I am here in Tamil Nadu, where I spend a lot of time. And at this time, with lockdown and all of that, I'm here much longer than I expected to be in India. And I'm not an expert in any way on Gandhian philosophy, but I can see that the path that I've dedicated my life to, which is of yoga. So I live at a yoga ashram here. And in fact, I have a different name. I've put my name Jill Stock here today, but I've taken another name because I'm considered a brahmachari or a renunciate here at the ashram. So we all here have dedicated our lives in a way to yoga, and we can see Gandhiji as a very good example of those teachings that we strive to embody in yoga. In fact, he's probably the most inspiring inspiration that has more global reach. So, and I think even before coming to yoga, I certainly knew in Canada as a young person, I knew who Gandhi was. I didn't know so much about his teachings, but I understood that he symbolized to me sort of gentleness, non-violence, which I understood. And perhaps as a young person, I didn't really know yet how important that was, that when life presents challenges, and it always does, that we find a way to not react so strongly to things. And I think that's the example, you know, we hear like turn the other cheek. And we are told we're not supposed to react when somebody challenges us or when somebody tries to harm us in some way. And as David Kalel said so nicely, like, you know, the harm is not just physical. We can harm other people with our words. We can harm other people with our thoughts. Even if my thoughts are quite negative, I can cause a lot of harm that way. So I understood from an early time, I think that Gandhiji was a very good example of those teachings. And now I find myself in the life trying to embody those teachings. And it's not so easy, actually. So we can understand intellectually, but then we have to put it into practice, as some of you have said, which is not so easy. And so putting it into practice is what we're all about here in the ashram. And those teachings primarily are ahimsa and satya, or non-harming and kindness. And in the yoga, they form the first two of the yamas, or restraints, or social restraints that we want to practice. So in the ethics of yoga, those two are the first two things that we look at. So Gandhiji as the perfect example, I think, of a yogi, someone practicing the teachings. And there's something very interesting going on. You know, I've been here in India now like consistently for 1 year, but back at home in North America, we've seen this Black Lives Matter movement taking off. And so I want to speak on that briefly today. So, sorry, I'm putting on mute here. So that Black Lives Matter movement has been around for some time, but it has taken off a great deal within the last 6 months or so, because there was a man, an African American man, that was killed by the police, and sparked the movement to get a little bit strong. So even in this time of social distancing and pandemic time, we saw people in North America taking to the streets and protesting in nonviolent ways. The social in the culture. And so it highlights in a way something that we as North Americans, we don't like to think that we have so much social injustice. We do, it's still there. So there's still very much a need for these teachings of nonviolence, for the teachings of social equality at this time. And you can see two pictures behind me. Someone asked earlier, this is Swami Shivananda, Swami Vishnudevananda, who are my gurus here. They lived in India, although Swami Vishnudevananda had a strong presence in North America as well. And one of the teachings there, which is very consistent, is unity in diversity, and the fact that we have to see all people as equals. And this can be difficult to put into practice as well. This is Gandhiji's teaching. So I wanted to share with you a little something today. It might sound a little different, but here at the ashram, we talk a lot, but we also practice a lot. And so our teacher on the left-hand picture, you can see is Swami Shivananda wearing the red. And one of his instructions was, an ounce of practice is worth tons of theory. So we like to remember, we like to put things into practice so that we remember this unity and diversity. And so here at the ashram, we do a lot of chanting. We chant bhajans quite a lot. There's one particular bhajan that I've always loved. And when we chant it here in the ashram, I can see the faces of all the Indian students like getting quite bright. Everyone knows this bhajan, and it is the bhajan that Gandhiji began each of his public meetings with. And so I thought, instead of talking so much about a subject that I'm not an expert in, but one in which I'm trying to live, that perhaps I can chant this bhajan, and maybe you know it and you can chant in your own way along with me. I'm sure you all know it. But that will show just how we try to remember on a daily basis these teachings here within the field of yoga as well. So forgive me, I hope the voice comes across on Zoom a little bit, but Rakupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Rakupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Rakupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Raghupati Raghava Rajaram Patita Pavana Sitaram Ishvara Allah Tere Naam Sabako Sanmati Te Bhagavan 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 Krishna, Jesus is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Krishna, Jesus is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Jesus, Moses is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Moses, Mohammed is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Allah, Buddha is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Durga, Mary is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Radha, Sita is thy name. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Raghupati, Raghava, Rajaram, Patita Pavana, Sitaram.
Thank you very much, madam.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That speaks
Fantastic,
to
fantastic.
what we feel here. Thank you very much for inviting me today. It's wonderful to be here. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste, madam. And thank you so much for your valuable words, and you have inspired us Indians too, madam. And let me tell you about your singing, madam. You've just made us spellbound with your singing. Thank you so much, madam. Hope we haven't troubled you in this time, madam.
No, not at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
God bless you.
Now I'd like to request Mr. Natraj, Director, SVYDA from Zimbabwe. Sir, please take over, sir.
Namaste, namaskar. My name is
Namaste, sir.
Natraj.
Namaste.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Certainly, sir.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to thank the organizers and the college representatives for inviting me and our organization. I am also part of the Shivananda Yoga Vedanta centers, like Jill. I know her as Nirmala Chaitanya, who's also part of our organization. And I'd like to thank particularly Mr. Sri C.V. Rajagopal Reddy ji, who personally extended the invitation to us to speak on this topic on the occasion 150th year anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi ji. And also I'd like to thank Mr. Rajagopal Reddy for sharing those very interesting video, YouTube video links, which I found very informative about the life of Mahatma Gandhi ji. There was two very good talks, one by Sadhguru of the Isha Yoga Foundation and one Ms. Veena Howard from the Fresno State University. So thank you for sharing those informative videos. Like Nirmala Chaitanya mentioned, I don't have much personal experience with the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. I did read his autobiography in my youth. And yes, you could see that he was basically a yogi by nature. And he applied the values of ahimsa and satya primarily in his life. And later adopted also the principle of brahmacharya. And as we know from the history books, circumstances brought him into a political arena. So in fact, you could say that it was those political situations that pushed him to find out the true values of life and how to face life's challenges using spirituality. And so that made him an unusual yogi in the sense he had to become a kind of politician. So he serves as a great example of how a yogi can be a politician at the same time, which is an unusual combination. But ideal in an ideal situation. And he was able to make that example for the whole world, to follow the spiritual principles in a personal life, and then to because of that practice, that sadhana that he was doing, he was able to apply it in his, not only his personal life, but in the social life through his connections to the nation. So on a personal level, we are following the teachings of our gurus. Nirmala mentioned Swami Shivananda and Swami Vishnudevananda, who founded this organization. And you heard the motto, unity and diversity is the motto of our organization. And unity and diversity, what does that mean? So for us, ultimately, if we want the humankind to live in peace, which we all want, how can we achieve that? Everybody would like to have peace in the world. Every time we switch on the news, we hear so many disturbing reports from various parts of the world where there's conflict and killing and so on, and tension. And usually we feel very helpless and hopeless in the situation, watching the news, that we have nothing that we can do to try and improve the situation. And actually it was our great teachers like Swami Shivananda and Swami Vishnudevananda who remind us there is a lot we can actually do to change the way of the humankind. And that ultimately we all have to take personal responsibility for peace, because the society we live in is made up of individuals like you and me. And if we want to have a peaceful society, basically it depends on individuals taking responsibility for that peace. And ultimately, if you can take that responsibility, you can have a peaceful family. That family can become part of a peaceful community. That community can become a culture. And then that can become a country and a nation. And then finally, we have the whole world, humankind. We are all essentially individuals. And unless we take that responsibility individually, we'll never be able to find a sustainable peace in this world. Swami Vishnu used the analogy of take a piece of cloth like this. This is maybe a piece of cotton cloth. And if you want to change this cotton cloth into silk cloth, how do we do that? I don't have a special wand just to use some magic and make it silk cloth. So likewise, if you want to have a peaceful human kind or nation, we don't have a magic formula. No one has a magic formula to transform the society. How do we change a piece of cloth from cotton into silk? Basically, we have to replace each and every strand, each and every thread from cotton into silk. And eventually then we'll have a silk cloth. So each strand has to be transformed or changed. So likewise, with the society, if we want to have a peaceful society, each and every member of the society has to transform themselves. And this cannot be done by force. We can, of course, provide the opportunities, but we cannot force people to be peaceful. People have to make that choice for themselves. Unfortunately, I think everybody does want that at heart of hearts. The problem is we don't know how to do it. We don't know how to create that peace for ourselves. And that's where yoga, and I would say generally Hindu culture, comes into the picture, because the culture of India has a lot of knowledge and wisdom about spiritual growth. And yoga particularly is a very practical system. By yoga, I mean the Patanjali yoga, as well as the teaching of Vedanta, etc. The 4 paths of yoga, the karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raja yoga, and jnana yoga. Scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, they are very practical. If you study them and understand them, they can be very practical how we can transform ourselves. Swami Vishnudevananda himself, he went to America back in 1957, and as you heard, he spent most of his life actually in North America, in Canada, so where our headquarters are. And he adopted a very simple system called the 5 points of yoga to help people develop a yogic lifestyle so that they can experience a better quality of life. By quality of life, and we don't just mean our physical health, but we also mean our mental, emotional health, and ultimately also our spiritual health. What are we doing in life and how are we doing it? And this is based on the very same principles that Mahatma Gandhi was applying. Principles like Satya, Ahimsa, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. But these 5 principles, these 5 points, actually, if I can just share them with you, they do also put quite a lot of emphasis on our physical health, because our physical health is the very foundation of our life. If we don't have physical health, life is very difficult. No matter, we can't really do anything easily. Even our spiritual practices will not be easy if we are sick. So our first responsibility as human beings for a better world is to maintain our physical health. From there, we can do other things. But if we don't have that health, then we are going to waste a lot of time and energy. So the 5 points, just to share them with you, which is what we teach in our ashrams and centers, is proper exercise, number 1, through the practice of yoga asana, proper breathing through the practice of pranayama, proper relaxation using shavasana, a proper diet, following a vegetarian diet, sattvic vegetarian diet, and the last point, we call it positive thinking and meditation. And positive thinking will include things like these yama, niyamas, and Vedanta philosophy that will help to orientate our mind in a positive direction. And the practice of meditation, of course, whereby we can learn how to focus and control our mind and purify our mind in a very systematic way. So if everyone could develop, and these are not very difficult things, we have successfully taught many hundreds of thousands of people since Swamiji started back in 57. So many people have passed through our schools and centers, and many of them are now teaching yoga. And we are definitely seeing the change in society. We are seeing a growing awareness of yoga and spiritual values all over the world. As we know now, yoga is a global phenomenon. People are desperate for it because their life is becoming more and more challenging. But we have more and more possibilities these days through communication, as we are doing right now. We have many facilities available to help ourselves, and communication, information sharing is one of the main things. So people are interested, and people want to change their lives for a better direction. And we can thank Mahatma Gandhi for being one of those pioneers who put spiritual values into practice and actually inspired not only this country, India, but inspired the whole world and many leaders. But we cannot just wait for leaders to take charge of the world and human history. The time is now for each one of us as individuals to take responsibility and to change the society we live in. We have so many tools available. We have so much information available. Now it's our responsibility to take this forward. And I'm really happy to say that I'm part of a yoga tradition, and that this is a very privileged position to be able to share this information with other people, and that so that we can all benefit and go forward as a humankind with the knowledge of yoga. So thank you for the opportunity to share this with you all, and I wish you all the best for the rest of your conference and seminar. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable speech and your thoughts and experiences on Gandhian philosophy. So hope we haven't troubled you in any way. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Now it's time for me to call upon online our beloved teacher, the dynamic speaker of the day, Dr. N. Ankanna Garu, to speak a few words on this Gandhian philosophy in this national online seminar. So it's over you too, sir.
The most respectable Vice Chancellor, for her nobility and simplicity, Professor Munagala Surya Kalavati Garu, Vice Chancellor, Yogi Vemana University, Kadapa. The Dynamic Registrar, Professor Vijay Rao Prasad Garu, YVU, Kadapa. Professor Chandramati Sankar Garu, Dean College Development Council, Professor Padma Garu, Controller of Examination, Yogi Vemana University, Kadapa. Professor Shamba Shiva Reddy Garu, Principal of YVU, Professor Raghunath Reddy Garu, Vice Principal YVU, and I must congratulate the team organized by Sri Rajgopal Reddy Garu for her nobility and charity in conducting 150th birthday celebration of Mahatma Gandhi ji, the father of the nation. Really, it gives me an immense pleasure to share few philosophical thoughts about Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi primarily. It is highly noted he is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, but came to be regarded as Mahatma Gandhi and father of the nation. When you think of Mahatma, it is not a title, a man with a great soul. That indicates there is a lot of difference between a man with a human heart, man life as a man. And another point is, when we think of his personal profile, his entire life is experimented with the truth that not only the people of India, but even the world has to remember, not as a leader, a great soul to inspire, a great soul to motivate, a great soul to lead the people on the right and righteous direction. This is his message. And another point is, being a leader in the freedom struggle, what he has adopted, truth, non-violence, and civil disobedience as weapons to attain the freedom from the mighty British clutches. How? It has to be noted, each and everyone, Mahatma Gandhi is inspired by even religious scriptures also. One is the Bible, second one is the Bhagavad Gita, the third one is Quran. What Mahatma Gandhi has adopted, when we think of Bhagavad Gita, your entire future is dictated by your action. That is karma philosophy. And karma theory is adopted by Mahatma Gandhi. Being an Indian, whether we have to adopt the fundamental religious principles of India, this we have to remember, this we have to understand with the sincerity. Another point is, even the super and supreme nation, the US, is tremendously influenced by Indian political thought. But today, what we are lacking is, we never understand Mahatma Gandhi's fundamental principles. The only question is, truth emerged as a weapon in order to make India a free. My young friends, all the listeners on the streamline, whether you believe me or not, liberation, freedom from clutches. What do you mean by it? Mahatma Gandhi has understood. Liberation is not physical. Liberation is from the narrow divisions. Liberation from the domestic divisions. Liberation from narrow clutches. That is liberation. Then Mahatma Gandhi has adopted even truth to secure independence. You have to remember truth as a weapon. Now remember me, all the young minds in the mind. Truth means not a commodity or a product. One who has capacity to digest, one who has a capacity to understand the basic fundamental truth, such people are courageous and such people are dynamic. At the same time, he was literally influenced by two popular personalities. One is Ruskin, second one is Tolstoy. What he has understood, Ruskin's unto the last, and we must inculcate truth as a way of life. When we adopt truth as a weapon, we should be more courageous and more dynamic in achieving our fundamental goals. Then Mahatma Gandhi's opinions on politics, economy, social, cultural, on women, and even international understanding. Now what Gandhiji has said, when we think of politics, politics is only to serve but not to be served. This is his slogan. Politics is only to serve the public not to be served, understand all the political leaders. When we think of economy, what he has advocated, economy not for profit making, but it's entirely based on welfare economy, welfare economy. That means economy must make people equal. That must not create any kind of inequality among the people. When we think of a social structure, unfortunately, India is entirely designed by means of caste discrimination, religious discrimination, and all kinds of narrow discrimination. This must be challenged only by establishing social equality at par with advanced and well-developed community. And when we think of industrialization, Mahatma Gandhi favored small-scale industries. The only reason is when there are cottage industries, India will become self-sufficient. That is her main. That is his main goal. Self-sufficient economy, self-sufficient India, that he wants to create. That is why he never wanted to invite more investment on major and larger scale industries. During the time of freedom struggle, Mahatma Gandhi has advocated Swadeshi movement. That is self-rule. That indicates India must be ruled by Indians, but not by any others or any foreign element. That is, remember all the time. And when we think of women, women is given top priority. Why? Because whether most of them do not know the very fundamental concept. Non-violence is extracted from women category. Women is the incarnation of ahimsa. Mahatma Gandhi has advocated ahimsa as a weapon to make India a free nation. It is already stated, no nation can be strengthened by means of sword or by means of aggressive nature. Any nation can be experienced only by means of humility, only by means of nobility. That is what Mahatma Gandhi has advocated. Now today, most of the nations are unable to protect their freedom. Why? Because their fundamental way of achieving freedom from other countries is not based on ahimsa, but based on ahimsa. But whereas in the case of India, we have achieved independence by means of ahimsa, that is non-cooperation and no question of bloodshed, only by means of peaceful means, only by peace. Peace is the prerequisite feature for the overall development, he realized. Then the question is, when we think of international understanding, there must have international understanding based on mutual trust and mutual faith. Today, what we are lacking, There is no mutual trust among the people, only distrust among the nation. And the most dangerous, more than coronavirus, is distrust prevail among the nation. Distrust prevails among the people, that we have to sort out, that we have to come out with a flying color. Then the next point is, the fundamental goal of every individual is be a winner of the hearts of the millions. That is the goal of every Indian, goal of every human being. Man is created only to become a winner, but not to be a loser. This is the philosophy that Mahatma Gandhi has advocated directly or indirectly. And another point is, when we think of our education, education is not a mere tool to obtain degrees. Education means a transformation of a student raw into finished product, raw into refined product, for which what we need now, a morally sophisticated, a spiritually talented teacher is needed. That is what Mahatma Gandhi has visualized, what Mahatma Gandhi has inspired. Today the question is, most of the education institutions have established only to make profit, but not to make any kind of social service, to make India a strong nation. It is our duty to make India a strong nation. No nation can become a strong unless and until the people of a particular nation are strong. That is why the strength of any nation is human population. Like India, the strength of India lies human resource and even natural resources. These two things, human resources, natural resources must be protected. Then any nation can become strong. At the same time, the fundamental principles that Mahatma Gandhi has adopted during the freedom struggle must become a way of life of the Indian, not only confinement of Indian freedom struggle, but it has to become a way of life, way of Indian life. Remember all these points, then we have to follow the footsteps of Indian philosophy and even Indian thought. As you know, South Africa, Sri Lanka, America, most of the nations have been inspired by the Indian Gandhi's philosophy. Why? Because truth means there is power. Non-violence, there is power. Ahimsa, there is power. Because Mahatma Gandhi has indirectly adopted the fundamental spiritual power to attack the most emerging nation like Britain. Britain is superior materially. Britain is superior. But the question is India, morally superior. Moral weapon, ethical weapon has challenged the mighty British monarch. You remember the strength of India and even the greatness of India. That is. Then another point is, every political leader must understand Mahatma Gandhi has advocated simplicity. Why? Because where there is simplicity, there is a strength. Simplicity means a strength. Where there is nobility, there is a spiritual strength. There is a strength and a spiritual strength. That is why Mahatma Gandhi has spiritualized this entire life as a weapon to make or to transform India a morally, spiritually a strong nation. Today, we have to adopt, every Indian must pledge that we have to adopt the principles of Mahatma Gandhi even in our personal life and even in our societal life. I challenge you one thing. There is a slogan from Mundaka Upanishad, Satyameva Jayate. Every Indian must recognize there is a slogan in our tricolor flag, Satyameva Jayate, that is, truth always triumphs. Are we in a position to adopt truth as a means, truth as a weapon in our life? That we have to introspect, that we have to understand. Another point is, there is one thing. People who are noble, people who are meek, people who are soft, such people will be courageous. Such people will be dynamic. Such people will be more powerful. That is soft, meek, noble. Such kind of qualities must be adopted by every Indian or every young Indian. That is why I must congratulate my dearest brother like Rajgopal Reddy Garu for having conceived a great idea in establishing a great seminar on Mahatma Gandhi's birthday celebration. You understand me? An idea can change the world. An idea can rule the life. That is why conceived a great idea from his mind remembers or indicates that is a man with great soul, a man with certain fundamental qualities. And before I stop, I must say, it is our pledge that every Indian must speak truth. Every Indian must follow and adopt the way of non-violence and the truth. You take it as a way of life. I must take it as a way of life. Thank you for giving me such a great and noble opportunity in sharing Gandhian philosophy and thoughts at international platform. Thank you, Ananda.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm proud to be your student, sir, and you've proved once again, sir. We never missed you, sir. We never missed you. And the way you have explained Gandhian philosophy, it resembles in the classroom too, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable speech. Literally, you made me to feel like I was in a present class, like in a virtual classroom too, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Namaste, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for attending the session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I request Dr. P.V. Krishna Reddy Garu, Assistant Professor from Government Degree College, to share his thoughts on Gandhian philosophy. So it's over you too, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon to you all. Let me share my screen. Is it visible to you, sir? Hello?
So
No,
you're
it is
clearly
not.
visible and audible too, sir.
Please proceed, sir.
You are visible and audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, can I confirm what is appearing on my screen, sir?
The presentation you have shared on 150th birthday anniversary of
Yeah,
Mahatma Gandhi.
okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your confirmation. First of all, I am very much thankful to Sri Rajagopal Reddy Garu, correspondent of CSSR and SSRM Degree and PG College, Kamalapuram, and also my beloved teacher, Sri Subbarayadu Garu, who has given me this opportunity to interact with all dignitaries in this seminar or webinar.
Thank you to our beloved teacher, Subbarayadu Garu.
Thank you very much, sir. And I also congratulate the CSSR and Degree and PG College to organize such kind of wonderful programs in our district. Especially, I have been observing besides our Kazipet, what is going to be happen in this government degree college, especially the infrastructure, what I have observed when I used to visit that college, it was very excellent. That means it indicates the importance of education to strengthen in our rural areas. Not only having very good building, library, and so many other facilities, even including faculty like Subbarayadu Garu and so another student friends like working in that college. If you come to the topic what they have given to me in today, on occasion of 150th birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, we have been celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi since a year. Even we have also conducted in our college as one of the exhibition on Mahatma Gandhi ideology at Government College for Men Autonomous Kadapa in last academic year. But we are very near to complete the 150th year of Mahatma Gandhian birthday celebrations. But even though conducting such kind of wonderful programs is appreciated and enlightened to all the people who are attending these webinars. And last but not least, we have been listening so many Nobel laureates from morning itself, from Vice Chancellor to the last speaker, enlightened speaker, Anganna Garu. We have been listening about the philosophy of Gandhiji and how it impacted throughout the world, not only in India, throughout the world, how the ideology as adopted by so many countries, not only getting freedom like India, health point of view, education point of view. There are so many ways about Gandhian philosophy to adapt each and every individual for the better society and for the better nation. And with this brief introduction, I would like to start today's topic on Gandhian philosophy on education with a special reference to new educational policy, which was very recently introduced by our Government of India, New Education Policy 2020. And yeah, if you come to the Gandhian philosophy on education, Mahatma Gandhi was not only a great leader, practical philosopher, and educational thinker for great repute throughout the world. And he wanted to establish a free casteless society. We have been listening since morning about the pros and betterments of Mahatma Gandhi ideology. Mahatma Gandhi especially interested to establish a free casteless society. It is very, very, very important for the betterment of life on this earth. Even during this pandemic situation, we have been trying to be as good to avoid and to strengthen ourselves by adopting new technologies like webinars instead of traditional seminars. Whatever it may be, Gandhiji is wanted to establish a free and casteless society. But still today we are observing, even day before yesterday, what is going to be happening in our society. But it was expected by Mahatma Gandhi, a free and casteless society in our nature or in our environment, with no exploitation and racial discrimination. Especially racial discrimination was a great impact on Mahatma Gandhi's life. When he was in South Africa, he was thrown away from train from first class to third class. From that in itself, he's inculcated a way of fight against or showing his feelings against this racial discrimination. For this purpose, he is used as an education is an instrument. And if you come to his philosophy of education was the outcome of his long experiences, political, social, and economic life. Being an educationist throughout, we are all are intellectuals. We have been working in various disciplines. We are all are observing that not only the education provides a good life, it leads for betterment of political, social, and economic life. For example, if you see what are the consequent changes which are going to be happen day-to-day life. For example, especially government of India, based on the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi, the new education policy was implementing and amending even from 34 years back onwards, which was first developed the new education policy in the year 1886. Then it is amended in 1992. And after 34 years back, the government of India is framed a new education policy 2020 based on the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi, especially in political scenario, social scenario, and economic life of the country, not only a human being or society throughout the country, not only in our India, throughout the world is looking towards the principles of Mahatma Gandhi for the betterment of society. And if you come to what is meaning of education, according to Mahatma Gandhi, to promote physical, mental, and spiritual development of an individual by acquiring the knowledge, which what we are observing by education, it is not only for physical, mental, and spiritual development of an individual, for the betterment of society. That's very, very, very important. That's why in the 100th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, the NSS was introduced in the year 1969, the 100th birth anniversary for the implement of individual to society. Of course, we may remember some slogans like Mahatma Gandhi, we enter to learn to serve. Service to the social, service to the society is very, very, very important rather than an individual. And then Mahatma Gandhi basic education was a practical embodiment and his philosophy of education. Mahatma Gandhi is mainly focused on basic education was purifies the heart and mind of all people and create a society free from exploitation and aggregation. A society free from exploitation and aggregation is a very, very, very important due to the purity of heart and mind by obtaining the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi through this education. And then Mahatma Gandhi was the first Indian who advocated a scheme of education based upon the essential values of Indian culture and civilization. Indian culture and civilization is a noblest than, and it is a ideology to all other countries. Even today's morning by David Garu and still Stock Garu, Jill Stock Garu, all are inspiredly telling that physiology or philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, which was in Tolstoy forum or in ashramas and etc. etc. not only in sense of yogic or that means self-sacrificing and etc. That means our Indian culture itself indicates and itself is an ideology throughout the world by means of Mahatma Gandhi and his philosophy of education, harmonious blending of idealism, naturalism, and pragmatism. All these are comes in the methodology of the people who are studying B.Ed course, but whatever it may be, they are incorporated about the philosophy of education based on harmonious blending is by the principles or by the characteristics of idealism, naturalism, and pragmatism. These are very, very, very important for the betterment of good education. If you come to idealism, idealism is the base of Gandhi's philosophy, where as naturalism and pragmatism are helps to translate the philosophy into practice. Whatever the knowledge we gain, that knowledge should be transformed in our lives. We have to adapt, we have to incorporate such kind of philosophies for betterment of society, for the betterment of individual. All this can possible by applying the blending principles of idealism, naturalism, and pragmatism. We have been listening about the principles or the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi, which he was advocated with the ideals of truth, non-violence, and moral values. Being a coordinator of human values and professional ethics at Government College for Men Autonomous, we have been teaching to the students, in addition to their curricular aspects, the co-curricular aspects, the co-curricular subjects like human values, professional ethics, and so many of these subjects has been taught by us by following the followers of Mahatma Gandhi, and also being intellectuals or being good citizens of this society. Especially Mahatma Gandhi has advocated the ideology of truth. I can give one simple example. Very recently, when I visited a nearby SBI bank, I requested to give a change for 5,000 rupees, but they have forgotten to take money at that time, even though I came back without giving that money to them, and my consciousness is not accepted. This kind of ideology was incorporated our Indian system itself, Indian civilization itself, and then I returned back and given that money to that bank depositors. But whatever it may be, what I'm saying here is we have been seeing so many examples in our society. All these are incorporated or inserted by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi in our education system. Truth, non-violence, not only destroying the resources, whatever the feelings what we have to express without violence. This is very, very, very important nowadays if we want to fulfill our desires or fulfill whatever the lacunae we have by expressing our views through these non-violence. And moral values are also very important. Still today we are observing so many violates in moral values in our society, but all this came to track by incorporating this kind of education in addition to what we are providing nowadays. And then if you come to the development of a child, according to this nature, and becomes a pragmatist, and he advocates learning and doing by experience. All the leads to integration. For example, especially Mahatma Gandhi has stressed about craft education in curriculum. On those days, craft education was well popularized. Even a student of me while studying at government high school at Kazipet, we used to remember, still today I can remember Subrayadu Garu, one of the former craft teacher, by giving that all those experiences by doing learning, not only by getting these instruments or ideals, and in addition to that, we can develop the personal relations between the students and families. Like that, the Mahatma Gandhi stressed about student-centric education must be than teacher-centric education. That's why I felt very happy to see the curriculum, what is going to be happens since years together, what is changed in the curriculum of even from 8th class to 10th, PG, UG. In so many courses, they have been changing their curriculum from teacher-centric to student-centric manner. All these are by the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Craft has given much emphasis on learning by doing, by experiences and integration, and all this leads to effective education and development of personality, total personality. And if you come to all these are basic fundamentals, I think we have that much time. Now we are at 12:48, and hence I'm not interested to skip these slides, but even though I will tell the main important slides what I prepared for this seminar or webinar. According to Mahatma Gandhi, literacy is neither the beginning nor the end of education. The students means not only the people who is going to school or college, who is studying, he is not only considered as a student, as a person. We have to consider each and every individual, even though you don't know about literacy, even you don't know about writing and speak, being a human being by their parents, by society, he can speak what are the mother tongue they are using. But this is literacy is not neither the beginning nor the end of education. Continuously, the people has to strengthen or has to educate ourselves by observing so many experiences, so many incidents in our day-to-day life. And this is only a means through which man and woman can be educated. And Gandhiji observed by education, I mean all-round development, all-round drawing of the best in child, man, body, mind, and spirit. Nowadays, for example, if you see in nature, so many creatures are there, not only human beings. So many creatures, plants, animals, so many creatures are there. All are basically need 6 inputs. If all these 6 inputs are properly available to that organism, it should be healthy. But in addition to that 6 basic principles, if you remember, those basic principles are: first one, we need air, good air, water, and then food. These are 3 very basic prerequisites, not only for human beings, all the living organisms, including plants. Air, water, food, and then we need some other inputs like for example, if you remember, the 4th one is rest, and then body exercise, and then excretion. And in addition to these 6, we need the 7th one, being a human being. That is one is mental health. Mental health is also very, very, very important. Being a person, being a human being, that mental peaceness comes by listening or by reading good Nobel laureate books, what they have written. The books are not only the books, by listening the speeches like so many Nobel laureates. But whatever it may be, what I'm telling here is the end of, or the ultimate aim of education is the man has to be strengthened, not only body, mind, and spirit. All this has to be strong in child. But nowadays, the education system, especially in corporate system, in concrete jungles, like in very big buildings, we have been seeing so many hundreds to 1,000 people are kicked in small rooms, but they don't have a requirable amount of playgrounds, and even they are not giving importance to games. By doing this, all these we can get the body development, and then by following these craft and some other practical oriented experiments, and then in addition to body, they can get mind. In addition to that, we need some spiritual education also, spiritual education for betterment of a single individual and for better society. It was stressed by Mahatma Gandhi, and this is only a means through which man and woman can be educated. This is how Gandhiji summed up the idea of true education accordingly. And then Mahatma Gandhi felt that education is not literacy, not only literacy, but we have been increasing our literacy rate by just practicing some words, by writing name, and by reading his names and his family names. That is not enough for betterment of a good society by providing this education. Gandhiji did not favor teaching and learning of as literacy and itself no education. Literacy is just a means of education. It emphasizes the development of head, heart, hand, and health. According to Gandhi, true education is that which draw out the simultaneous, the spiritual, intellectual, and physical fitness of the children. That's why by the calling upon our government of India, we used to conduct the programs like Swachh Bharat or Clean and Green, and even nowadays we used to accomplish the programs like yoga days or fit India movement, fit India movements, like that. Fit of our body and health is very, very important based on the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Not only the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi, each and every individual has to be hygienic, has to be health and wealth, and then only we can expect this better society from this education. And then if you come to the aims of education, Mahatma Gandhi has divided educational aims into two categories, and immediate aims of education and ultimate aims of education. And all these are the immediate aims of education. Since getting independence onwards, we have been stressing on these aims of Mahatma Gandhi, especially vocational aim. First aim of Mahatma Gandhi education philosophy is a vocational aim. Even today, I saw a newspaper article from Government College of Kadri. They have given a notification, sericulture technology. We are offering a course at Government College Kadri. The students can join like that. This kind of vocational courses are being introduced by the guidelines of Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Vijayawada. This kind of courses are being implemented based on this vocational aim. Not only sericulture technology, for example, the introduction of me, somebody has read of my brief biodata. I have been working as a coordinator for horticulture course. Horticulture course is one kind of vocational objective-oriented course, and mushroom technology, like that. So many vocational aimed courses are being implemented in our curriculum designed by the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. And then education ought not be for them a kind of insurance against unemployment. I hope you may remember very recently I listened in a WhatsApp sent by some other. What I listened is in that video, the student who was a very excellent academic profile student came to his teacher and asked, you have to, you spoil my life. You always told me, read well, you can get a good job. Read well, you can get good job, like that. You always stressed me and you are always encouraged me, and then I read well, and hence I got more than 90% in 10th class and intermediate, even UC and PG, but still today I'm not getting any job. Why don't you tell? Read well, why can't you create job? such a kind of modern trends are came to exist by the ultimate aim of these vocational aims. If the student can learn whatever the interested aspect like mobile technology, that means engineering, or whatever the requirement, agricultural, horticultural, and some other instrumental training should be. Even nowadays, the UGC, the new education policy is incorporating that is the music, the singing, all these are came to a subject like what we are studying, like botany, zoology, or chemistry, or history, political science, like that. In forthcoming days, the music is also becoming as one subject. Co-curricular subjects are also incorporating like the co-curricular subjects what nowadays we have, like human values, environmental science, like that. Even the arithmetic, reasoning, such kind of papers or communication skills, such kind of co-curricular papers are being incorporated in present system. Instead of them, the student elective subjects are going to be came to exist in forthcoming new educational 2020 policy, like that. And then if you come to the cultural aim, which was advocated by Mahatma Gandhi, the vocational education and cultural advancement should be side by side. The vocational and cultural education are very necessity for the development of good society, and hence Mahatma Gandhi has stressed on this one of the aim of education as a cultural aim. For example, if you see, we used to tell our students one example. For example, being in South Indian, we used to have our food prepared by rice, and the North Indian people are used to have their food from wheat. Why? The only reason we are growing in our, that means the hot conditions, hot climatic conditions, but the North Indian people, they are growing in cool climatic conditions. Based on these climatic conditions, we used to take rice. Why? Because of ice is in rice, RIC, rice. And in wheat, heat is there, WHEAT. In wheat, heat is there. Based on this, some giving examples, we used to tell our students based on this cultural, it can give some importance of cultural aims. That means we are living in our hot countries, we have to wear this kind of cotton prepared clothes based on our society, our environment, and culture. But the North Indian people or some abroad people, for example, if you see the President of America, or not only the people who are coming from abroad, where they are living in cold countries, they used to wear coats or jeans pants and etc., based on their environment and culture and etc., etc. That means the cultural aim is also very, very important besides the occasional aim. And then culture is main foundation and essential part of education. Mahatma Gandhi told that I attach more importance to cultural factors of education than literacy factors. But Dr. Ankana Garu was told in today's morning, Mahatma Gandhi was a very simple, he's a man of simplicity. Why? Because of he used to wear dhoti, which was handcrafted by him itself, a small cottony made dhoti he used to wear. That means it indicates us about this culture of our India. He used to wear such kind of in literacy factor. For example, if you see me, I wear a full shirt and pant and etc., etc. That means why I'm remembering all these examples is these are comes under literacy factors. But the cultural factors are great impact than literacy factors, like that Mahatma Gandhi has emphasized on this cultural aim. And then culture is primary and basic thing which the girls should receive from schools. Mahatma Gandhi has given more importance in addition to male. Even the girls are also has to be girls are also get good education by providing. But nowadays, some kind of curriculum designment is going to be changed for men and women at basic levels. On those days, especially the women is emphasized on crafts and etc. etc. But sorry, hello, hello. Okay, shall I continue, sir? Hello? Hello?
Continue.
Okay, okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. And it maybe takes some more time. That's why I think our beloved Subride sir is calling to me. But whatever it may be, I'll try to shorten as much as possible. And then these are all basic fundamentals of our Mahatma Gandhi philosophy. Okay. And then if you come to the main focus of today's topic, Mahatma Gandhi ideology on education, especially special reference to new education policy. And then the ultimate aim of education is, according to Mahatma Gandhi, is education is a realized to God, realized to God. All other aims subservient to the supreme aim. The same aim, self-realization, which is coming down since very early times in Indian wisdom and which continues the essence of Indian philosophy. According to Mahatma Gandhi, development of moral character, it's very, very, very important. Development of moral characters. These are very essential for better society. We used to observe so many mitigating things in our areas, in our society. All these came to exist due to lack of moral characters. That's why even in our higher education, especially in BSc or UG and PG programs, they are providing forcibly the papers like human values to inculcate, to enhance such a kind of moral values in students and teachers and in public. By being a student, if we know, being a student, especially even in my home also, my kids used to tell, why can't we give some charity to some others like that? But that self, they are inculcating their such kind of qualities are forcibly or unforcibly, they are going to be adapted to our kids, our students, and for betterment of society. Mahatma Gandhi especially stressed on the development of moral character, development of whole, all were directed towards the realization of ultimate reality, the measure of the finite being to the infinite, finito being the infinite in the realizing a goodliness in his self. Godly, God, good. God is divine from good. This godliness in him or her can be incorporated or developed by the moral education in addition to the education what we are providing. And then all these are the Mahatma Gandhi views, especially objectives of education and craft education, especially stressed on student-centric education instead of teacher-centric. By providing this student-centric, the student can enrich an all-round development rather than some lack. For example, if you see knowledge of production process, for example, in new educational policy, according to new educational policy, from 9th class onwards, the students can opt his or her own interested subjects. Or in addition to that, the internship is also incorporated in higher education, especially in the degree 3 years pattern. Now, from this academic year onwards, first and second years only, they are going to be study whatever the curriculum which is designed for him. But in final year, completely the 2 semesters included internship. In that internship is used to take a project, and by doing that project, he can achieve what he have to do, what is the methodology, what are the results, what are the objectives, and each and everything they can do by doing a research manner. In addition to traditional teaching, chalk and talk methods nowadays, this kind of technology playing a vital role. Even this pandemic situation. Very recently, day before yesterday, one of my student by the name of Sai Charan has entered into Indian book records at who is studying at Government College for Men Autonomous Kadapa. He entered into Indian book records by attending 350 quizzes and webinars within the short period of 45 days. Within the short 45 days period, he was attended more than 350 seminars and webinars, and hence he was recognized from Indian Book of Records, and he received a prize also. And day before yesterday, we felt very happy. That means all this indicates, all these explains or indicates us we have to change, or we have to transform our system from old to new, from unknown to known. It's very, 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 very important according to Mahatma Gandhian philosophy. And then if you come to the curriculum, designing a curriculum is also very important. For example, curriculum in Mahatma Gandhi scheme is activity centered and craft centered. For example, I felt very happy to see the curriculum. Being a teacher, when I was at Kazipet, I used to teach for classes of even 9th and 10th classes of biology also. But I felt very happy to see the curriculum when I was studied as a student and when I'm observing as a teacher, how much tremendous change has happened in the curriculum designing from teacher-centric to activity-centric or student-centric. Even in the last academic year also, being a state jury member, I used to visit so many, science fairs. The children coming from rural background, they are performing very well, innovative projects. All these comes the Mahatma Gandhian ideology from activity centered to craft centered. And according to M.S. Patel has put in his style, craft occupies the position of sun. Craft occupies position of sun in the vast solar system of human life. How the sun occupies the important role in solar system. Similarly, the craft or activity centered system is as sun. It was compared by M.S. Patel Garu. But whatever it may be in our human life, the activity-based learning is getting more important than passive theoretical aspects. The practical experiments are getting rather than the old chalk and talk and theoretical exams. Even I felt very happy when I was a student, the entire question paper for 100 marks, but nowadays it is reduced to from 100 to 75, 75 to 60. Now we are in the 60 to 40% pattern. Why? Because of they are changing or altering by the Mahatma Gandhian philosophy from theoretical to practical, or some other extracurricular activities are going to be observed by these ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. And then the basic curriculum has to be followed. The basic craft like agriculture, majority of our students are coming from agricultural background. Not only our students, India itself has a more agricultural background, and hence the curriculum should be related to agriculture. And then spinning, weaving. In olden days, even Professor Ankana Garu told that Mahatma Gandhi is not against industrials. Why? Because of some people are thought that why you are opposing industries. But Mahatma Gandhi used to told that I am not against technology or instrument. Being a human resources, our India is a source of energy or source of population. Population has to be taken as one of the source of Indian culture and system. At that circumstances, the education has to be provided addition to moral values and this kind of craft-centered means there has to be get some employable skills in addition to traditional systems like agricultural, spinning, weaving, and etc. etc. And especially Mahatma Gandhi has stressed on mother tongue, impact of a mother tongue on education system. Even the new education policy, according to new education policy, the primary education should be in mother tongue. But whatever it may be, the government of India or the government of Andhra Pradesh are looking towards the desires of people. It's very, very, very important. From 1947 onwards, our human civilization initiated onwards, we have been changing, we have been adopting the technology. Similarly, we have been adopting, in addition to our mother tongue, there is emergent need to incorporate the foreign languages, especially the English language and so many other languages, especially English, Hindi, has to be incorporated our system. But especially at a basic level, in primary education, the government of India, through this national education policy, but the mother tongue, that means the impact of a mother tongue is very, very, very important to all-round development of children. Not only the theoretical or practical, even the language skills, body, mind, spiritual, all this development can happen when the people have the impact of mother tongue. And then next one is basic other subjects like mathematics, social studies, general science. In addition to that, we all are used to learn mathematics, social studies, socio-economic lives, community, cultural community, history of crafts. All this can be accomplished by doing learning, by giving some experiments like activity-oriented education system. And even the sixth point is drawing and music. That's why when I was a student, while studying 6th to 10th class, we used to have the drawing and the craft is one of the subject. But nowadays, we are not at all identifying those are also as one of the subject in recent changes which are happened. But again, the government of India, through this new education policy, the drawing, music, singing, dancing, all these are coming as one of the subject in forthcoming days, according to co-curricular aspects, what we are studying like botany, zoology, or political science, history, and etc. etc. Such a kind of changes are going to be happen in this new education system of policy. And then if you come to the very important aspect in today about Gandhian educational philosophy, free and compulsory education. Gandhiji wanted at the age of 7 to 14, people has to be free, pre-compulsory and universal primary education. It's very, 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 very important. And then his concepts of primary education was up to matriculation minus English, up to matriculation minus English. But whatever it may be, it is the principle or it is the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi has used to feel the mother tongue effect on all-round development of child. And then second one is a craft-centered. There is nothing but a student-centered education. We have been discussing since about the importance of practical-oriented education, a new education policy, and then self-supporting aspect of education. It is very, 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 very important ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was used to opinion that the question of higher education be postponed some time, but the problem of primary education, the masses cannot be postponed for a minute. I used to felt unhappy when I traveled from Kazipet to Maidukur, being a native of Kazipeta. Meanwhile, I used to see the building of model school. But where I am working at government college in elementary school, but the higher education is not giving that much importance, but the primary education is getting more important. It is the philosophy or the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi is in other sense, not in government has to provide such kind of beautiful, wonderful buildings, infrastructure like the Honorable Chief Minister, which is providing in the program of Nadu Nedu, not only in school education, now it is transformed from school education to higher education also. But whatever it may be, Mahatma Gandhi opinion that the self-supporting aspect of education by taking students as one of the resource to grow by doing crafts and by growing gardening and so many other factors or has to came to exist. Even Mahatma Gandhi thought that the salaries or the dependiture of teacher is also fulfilled from the self-supporting of the school system itself. But whatever it may be, nowadays, each and every government of India or the government of Andhra Pradesh is looking towards the primary education, is giving more funds rather than higher education. Why? Because of this the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. And then, of course, his self-supporting aspect was criticized on moral and academic grounds. Of course, we are all seeing that based on the Labor Act, the student has not worked. Such kind of acts are emphasizing, but Mahatma Gandhi has feel that the self-supporting system of education has to be strengthened for the betterment of third world countries like India has to be strengthened by taking this kind of education as to came exist. Like that, so many, for example, if you come to higher education, the CCE is introduced new market-oriented courses. The ultimate aim of education after completion of graduation, it has to be get some job, whether government or in private or in self-employable skills has to be incorporated. They have given this kind of ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. Hence, they have established JKC, Jawaharlal Knowledge Centers. Through that JKC, the government is strengthening the students, not only the traditional subjects like English, languages and subjects, they are training on computer education, spoken skills, arithmetic reasoning, and even for girls, they have some specialized craft skills and etc. are going to be strengthened. And in addition to that, the Dist programs and skill development programs are being incorporated by the government of India. And day before yesterday also, especially our Satish Chandra IAS has emphasized about the lacunes of our Indian system when compared to IITs and IIMs. The teachers who are working, the lecturers who are working at degree colleges, government and private degree colleges of our Andhra Pradesh, are needed more burden than the faculty who are working at highest IIT and IIM Why? Because of their screen faculty. The screen students came to join in that institutes, but in our institute they are not. The rural, some have some facilities, some doesn't have any facilities. We don't have requirable amount of libraries, playgrounds, and even the digital instruments like computers, mobiles. Nowadays, so many people, even we are conducting the online teaching classes for students. We are not getting more than 45% of students are only attending this kind of technology oriented. Why? Because of these are all the problems. All are, even they may have mobile, but they don't have internet, and sometimes we may have some power problems and etc. etc. But whatever it may be, the government of India, especially government of Andhra Pradesh, has introduced new market oriented courses like horticulture, organic farming, aquaculture, mushroom technology, multimedia. So many courses are going to be incorporated, not only in government colleges or in model colleges. Even the other colleges are also looks towards this kind of courses like that they are emphasizing. And then all these are by taking the learning by doing concepts. Hello. Sir, good afternoon, sir. Hello. Oh, sorry, I think I was in mute. And then if you come to the new educational policy system, I think time comes up. We are near to 1:30, and I would like to focus on the theme of today's class on new educational policy. This is about the new educational policy, which was very recently introduced or approved by the government of India. New education policy. For example, if you see this slide, and then you can easily understand. The new education policy was approved by the government of India, Parliament, on 29th July 2020. According to this new educational policy, the comprehensive framework for elementary education to higher education, as well as vocational training in both rural and urban areas. Transform Indian education system is very, very, very important. We have to meet by 2030, nearly 50% of dropouts in higher education has to be reduced. This is the main ultimate aim of new education policy 2020 objective. Especially the motto of new education policy is quality, innovation, research will be the pillars on which India will become knowledge superpower. Clearly, a new education policy is needed, and hence the government itself, when it came to adjust, they are promised to bring a new educational policy, and later on, after 34 years, we are in adapting the new education policy system in 2020. And then, yeah, according to why we adopt or why we need the new education system, why the 1992, which was amended in 86th education policy to overcome some defects, not defects, to overcome in the changed time being, we need to adopt the 2020 new innovative requirements. Based on that, they have changed this new education policy. By 2035, the 50% of students should complete higher education. It is the main objective of the new education system. At higher education, only now we have 25% of people are admitting in higher education. 25%. It is very pure poor number to increase from poor to pure, or to increase the number from 25 to 50. This is the motto by changing the pattern which is available today. And then to reduce rote learning. This is another objective of new education policy. We have been observing in nowadays, even the students who are getting 95% of percentile when they are studying intermediate or UG and PG, but they are not getting any jobs. Even day before yesterday, Hemachandra Reddy Garu has told that 95% of the toppers could not write a job application. 95% of the toppers are not in a position to write a job application due to having these kind of defects. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Oh, okay, sir. I will finish within 5 minutes, sir. Okay, thanks. This is about 5+3+3+4 system. Primary education, middle education, and higher education. In higher education, the students can adopt the elective subjects. For example, if you used to take the subjects at intermediate, from intermediate to now, according to new education policy, it is inserted at the standard of 9th to 10th class. Like that, they have some pros and cons. To overcome that cons from old education system, we have to adopt this new education system from 5+3+3+4 system. In this higher education, we can come to the MPhil was removed from bachelor degree to postgraduate, and then directly can admit into PhD programs. MPhil has removed from this new educational policy. And if you come to what my experiences about Mahatma Gandhi in these days, what I have done with these pictures, I would like to show. I used to participate in the last academic year in our college. We conducted one program in association with Science Club, Raman Science Club at Kadapa. We used to organize so many programs in our college. This is the chart exhibition at that time. Principal Dr. Subhanar Segar is inaugurating this function. And these are some paper clippings. We used to participate each and every year about so many programs of Mahatma Gandhi ideology to incorporate in students, teachers, and public to adapt his. All these are the paper copies. And finally, this is the picture when I visited Mahatma Gandhi tomb at New Delhi, Mahatma Gandhi tomb at New Delhi. With this, I would like to thankful for your patient listening. And even after at the time of 1:30, I hope I have taken much time for explaining about ideology of Mahatma Gandhi on education. With this, I am very much thankful to all. And if you have any queries, I am ready to try to clear your doubts. Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Am I audible, sir?
So,
hello?
sir.
Do you have any queries, sir? Participants invited.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your presentation. You have just presented the Gandhian philosophy as just the botany has sprouted and bloomed from the nature.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So moving on, we have so many papers from presenters. among which, as the time doesn't permit us, we have collected a very one thing from Dr. Lakshmi Kant Reddy Chitla, PhD, member, Board of Studies, Department of Economics, Osmania College, Kurnool. So there will be, it will be played on the screen now. So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir.
Yeah, yes.
Can you kindly remove your screen, sir? Will you stop sharing your screen?
Okay, sir, definitely. Yes, sir. I hope have stopped.
So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you kindly remove your screen, sir? Will you stop sharing your screen?
Okay.
Lakshmikant Reddy.
They're already removed, sir. Hello.
Dr. Lakshmikant Reddy, member, Board of Studies, Osmania Degree College, Kurnool district. My topic is Gandhian's models of rural development.
So pardon
Mahatma
me, sir,
Gandhi
Krishna
is
Reddy,
a
sir.
visionary of
Yeah,
India,
yes, sir.
had a
Can you
very
kindly
clear
remove your screen,
perception
sir?
of its
Will you stop sharing
villages
your screen?
and made an empathic
Sir, it's already removed, sir.
in
They're already removed, sir.
over 7
Removed,
and
sir.
lakhs of villages.
Hello.
Gandhiji played the leading role in securing for India political independence from the British Raj. My topic through the organizing and mobilizing India people.
So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir.
Visionary of
Yeah,
India
yes, sir.
had a
Can you kindly
non-violent
remove your
manner.
screen, sir?
Gandhiji approach to
Sharing your screen.
India's development was
Sir, it's already removed, sir.
centered.
They're already removed, sir. Removed, sir.
In the tenets of
Hello.
truth, non-violence, and the witness of leading role in securing for India political independence from the British Raj. My topic is organizing and mobilizing.
So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you kindly remove your screen, sir?
Gandhiji approached to means of overall
Sir, it's already removed, sir. They're already removed, sir. Removed, sir.
Development of tenets of
Hello.
truth, non-violence, and witness of development rural economy rural development through the organizing and modelizing self-sufficiency.
So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you kindly remove your screen, sir?
Gandhiji approached to means of overall
Sir, it's already removed, sir. They're already removed, sir.
Mahatma
Removed, sir.
development of India.
Hello.
Non-violence
So pardon me, sir, Krishna Reddy, sir. Can you kindly remove your screen, sir?
Sir, it's already removed, sir. They're already removed, sir.
Leading role in securing for India political independence from the British Raj and mobilizing India people
Kindly remove your screen, sir.
Sir, it's already removed, sir. They're already removed, sir.
from the British Raj and mobilizing India people
Kindly remove your screen, sir. On behalf of our college, I would like to
Sir, it's
thank
already
Dr.
removed, sir.
Lakshmi
They're
Kant
already
Reddy for
removed,
his
sir.
audio clip. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Moving on now. Now there will be a short document, virtual documentary on Gandhian life. Please slide. Kindly remove your screen, sir. On behalf of our college, I would kindly
Sir,
request
it's
all the
already removed,
participants
sir.
to mute your
They're
screens
already
for
removed,
this
sir.
audio clip. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Moving on now. Now there will be a short document, virtual documentary on Gandhian life. Please slide.
Now the Gandhi how do you play the question?
Mahatma Gandhi was the most important political and spiritual leader during the Indian independence movement. He was the pioneer of resistance to tyranny through mass civil disobedience, founded on non-violence. During the Indian independence, he inspired the civil rights movements around the world. He was born on the 2nd of October 1869. His father was the prime minister of Northern Ireland. His mother was his father. He was the pioneer of resistance. When he was only 13 years old, Gandhi was married to a 14-year-old girl and arranged child marriage. At the age of 15, he had his first child, who died after a few days. In the following years, he had other 4 sons. In 1988, Gandhi moved to London to study law at the University College London. In 1893, he went to South Africa to work for an Indian firm. In South Africa, Gandhi experienced the discrimination.
Mr. Vinay, are you online?
Yeah, yes, I'm in online.
Yes, thank you. So now we'll conclude the program with a vote of thanks from my colleague, Mr. D. Vinay Kumar, lecturer in English, CSSR and SRRM Degree College. So over to you, Vinay.
Yeah, thank you, Ashok. So good morning to all. At all outside, I consider it more privilege and honor for me to deliver vote of thanks on this gracious occasion to all the online dignitaries, delegates, and participants from India and abroad, and ladies and gentlemen. It is a true, no single event can be performed without an able leader. It's a great opportunity for our college to organize this online national seminar on Gandhian philosophy. Under able guidance of our beloved honorary advisor, Dr. C. Subbarayadu Garu, while our principal, Sir C.V. Rajagopal Reddy Garu, is our backbone. Our honorary advisor is our brains. Through Dr. C.S. Subbarayadu sir is 64 years. His art of conveying ideas is as good as new millennials. Thanks a lot, sir, for your efforts, encouragement, time, patience. The thanks is not a single word for you, sir. So we have to say a big thanks to you. I, from the bottom of my heart, am thankful to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor M. Surya Kalavati Garu, for spending her valuable time with us and also inaugurating the occasion with her enlightening words. Thank you so much, madam. Now, I am honored to thank our respected principal, Sir C.V. Rajagopal Reddy Garu, for this continuous encouragement and inspiration in our standard quality of education. We all are thankful to your deeds, sir. And now I would like to extend my thanks to the Registrar, Professor D. Vijay Raghav Prasad Garu, for taking an active participation in the online national seminar. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to use this opportunity to say thanks for the Dean CDC, P. Chandramati Shankar Garu, to spending her time in this program. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, madam. Yes, now I consider my fortunate thank to the another person is none other the control of examinations, Professor P. Padma Garu. Thank you so much, madam. Hope this will continue for future too, ma'am. Now I would like to extend my warm thanks to the NSS program coordinator, Dr. A. Madhusudan Reddy Garu, for his participation. It's been an honor to have this memorable occasion, sir. Thank you so much, sir. A special thanks to Vice Principal of IVU, S. Raghunandan sir, for active participation. Thank you so much, sir. And our special thanks for the abroad delegates, David, Jill Stock, and Nataraj Garu. Our special thanks to you, sir. It's time to thank the dynamic and person of the day, Dr. Nakarna Garu, his thought-provoking speech. Thank you so much, sir. Finally, it's my privilege to thank the other resource person of the day, P. Krishna Reddy Garu. So thank you so much for your invaluable words on Gandhian philosophy. Thank you so much, sir. I consider it as my responsibility to thank all our college coordinators and members, especially for the IQAC coordinator, Mr. T. Ganesh Kumar, seminar coordinators, P. Mahesh Reddy, Mr. C. Ivarappa, and D. Vinay Kumar. And we thankful for the technical support, P. Kalandar Garu, for his splendid technical skills. Last but not last, I would like to convey my thanks to all the online delegates and participants, not only from 5 countries of country, but also from America and Canada, and from other states. That concludes the remarkable, memorable event online seminar on Gandhian philosophy. We promise you all that in coming years, we will organize more and more programs like that with innovative thoughts. So I promise you that this may be the end of today's session. But undoubtedly, this is a new beginning. Thank you, one and all, but also from America and Canada and from other states. Before cutting to the program, I believe any function is incomplete without national anthem. Thus, once again, I want to thank our beloved honorary advisor, Dr. C.S. Subbarayadu Garu, who stood like a backbone to organize this seminar. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, may I please request you all to sing along the audio going to be played. Thank you. So, Jai Hind. Anthem. Thus, once again, I want to thank our beloved honorary advisor, Dr. C.S. Subbarayadu Garu, who stood like a backbone to organize this seminar. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, may I please request you all to sing the audio going to be played. Thank you. So, Jai Hind. thanks our beloved honorary advisor, Dr. C.S. Garu, who stood like a backbone to organize this seminar. Thank you so much, sir. Moving forward, kindly request you all to so Jai
Shall we exit now? చరణ్ ఎగ్జిట్ అయిపోవచ్చా? అయిపోయిందా? మన వాళ్ళు ఎవరున్నారు చూడు, వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా ఉన్నారో చూడు. సింబాలిక్ వెళ్ళిపోమంటున్నారు. జస్ట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు స్క్రీన్ షేర్. హ్యాండ్ రైజ్ చేయరా చరణ్?